Ben just was just talking about Jefferson, and Bradley asks along those lines, and he says that Jefferson wrote that our unalienable rights are self-evident, but are they? And if so, wouldn't all societies naturally realize them?
This is a great question. So the answer is, of course,
we disagree with you.
So right. So the answer is, of course, they're not self-evident. But Jefferson didn't mean they were self-evident to any person on earth. He meant to any right-thinking person who had grown up in the context of Judeo-Christian values. Right. That's the real answer. Right. The real answer is that, of course, Jefferson wasn't a fool. He knew that most people on earth did not see these rights as self-evident. He meant that these rights were self-evident given a certain set of premises, including the idea that all people were created in the image of God, and the idea that Englishmen had rights. Then it was self-evident that the rest of this follows. But if you don't have, this is where we make a mistake when we think that we can just take the rights that were generated over the course of 2,000 years of Judeo-Christian history and 1,500 years of Greek theorizing. You can take those and just implant them anywhere in the world without any sort of military force, that if you just if you just spread the seeds, then the roots will grow. It's just not true. You have to actually acknowledge that there is a cultural history that pre-exists the founding of the United States, and that is the soil from which all of this grows. And without that soil, you're spreading seeds on cement. It's just not going to go anywhere. And I think Jefferson knew that. He wasn't a foolish man.
I think that when he said self-evident, I don't think he meant actually readily apparent. I think he meant axiomatic, that the only evidence for them was the only evidence necessary for them was themselves. That once you saw them, I mean, something can be self-evident and nobody discovers it for 2,000 years, but then once you discover it, you know it. And you're absolutely right that the culture and the custom has to be there. The underlying principles have to be there to lift you to that place where you see it. But it doesn't mean that self-evident doesn't mean, oh, anybody can see it. It means once you see it, it doesn't have to be proved.